And good afternoon, everyone. From Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey, we are just wrapping up practice with this opening squad. The Parker Bohn, the third scholarship tournament, the 23rd edition of this great event here at Howell Lanes. And this is the first of 6 qualifying squads prior to Sunday's match play bracket finals. I am $2 Phil Brallo joining you. Glad to have you with us today on a gorgeous Thursday afternoon here in Howell Lanes. I know these young players are going to want to throw a lot of strikes for 2 reasons. Not just to get a score on the board and get their way back here on Sunday afternoon, but get out and enjoy the day before they all got to pile back into school next week. I'll tell you what, you don't get days like this that often this summer. And get out and enjoy it. So a couple of reasons for these young players to throw strikes. We're going to spotlight your coverage on this pair. If you're watching us on the Justin Bohn YouTube channel, we're only going to have the Strike Central stream here on 7 and 8. Now, we'll get some whip around coverage on this stream if someone's shooting a big game somewhere else in the house, because we do have all pairs in play this weekend in coverage. Live streaming on YouTube, but all those streams are on the Parker Bohn the third scholarship tournament YouTube channel. So what you can do is double tab us. Go to the Parker Bohn the third scholarship tournament YouTube page in one tab, find the pair that your favorite player might be bowling on for a particular game, and obviously then you can switch from pair to pair as they move game to game. And then keep us on in the Justin Bohn channel for the Strike Central stream on your second tab, and keep the audio up on this tab. Basically because we're going to have special guests in all weekend. I know we're going to have guys like PBA Rookie of the Year Matt Russo, Chuck Gardner from Bowl for Life in Brunswick, Eric Naus from Brunswick. Bill O'Neill's going to be stopping by tomorrow. We'll get him in the booth for a squad or two. And it's going to be a pretty fun weekend all the way through for these young players, regardless if they do spectacular or not so good on the lanes. As we enter this first of a 5-game qualifying block here for the PB3. Your players here on this round, they're sticking with the letter system as all these players are moving pairs after each game. But your players this game, take a look here on lane 7. Jason Bennett is your player, bowler A. Bowler B on lane 7, you're going to see stepping up here in a moment, is Joshua Lamoro. Lamoro in your B spot, and in the C spot over in lane 8 is Ryan Lang. As you see these players starting to attack this 42-foot pattern designed for this event. We'll give you some details on that as we get a little further into game 1. 28 bowlers on this squad. Maybe we may have had a late scratch, so we might be down to 26. But I'll tell you what, I know there's one squad full tomorrow out of the 2. I know the 2 late squads on Saturday are full, and I'm not sure about the 9 a.m. one. I'm sure we'll get an update in a little while. Those of you in the chat, on the Justin Bohn page, Justin's busy doing some tournament stuff, so he'll get in on the chat as soon as he gets a chance to, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to. I've got some questions about his junior gold win since I wasn't there to see it. I still haven't watched it yet. I was in Bowling Green, Ohio with a PBA 50 regional. I was streaming that same weekend that Parker was the defending champion of, but he couldn't come back. He was in Grand Rapids watching Justin and Sydney try to take down those titles. Justin did. Sydney finished in the top 6, so another great showing for the Bohn family. And right now, yeah, you wonder if some of these single pin misses, like you're seeing for Jason Bennett, are going to come back to haunt him once the cut lines are announced. So I know for the boys under 18 and girls under 18 divisions. Those will be 16-player brackets on Sunday. As those have filled quite nicely with the players. The under 15 brackets for the girls and boys yet to be determined on the bracket size. And there's something you don't see very often. The old 2 count. Somewhere, I know there's a running, I don't know if it's a bet or a joke or somewhere down in the Southwest. There's a 292 pot. Get the front 11 and then 2 count on the last ball. I'll have to look out for that again. Yeah, that's something you don't see on the scoreboard too often there, as you see for Joseph Lamoro. The old 25 on the score sheet. So if you're looking for results for the event, if you go to the tournament webpage, it's ParkerBohn, the number 3.com. And that'll get you to the home page, and you'll see up on the top where it has PB3 tournament. You click on that, and that'll get you to the entry forms and such. On the main page, though, when you're on that PB3.com, ParkerBohn, the 3.com page, you'll see 23rd ParkerBohn, the 3rd scholarship tournament results. Click on that, and that'll get you into the division results as they get posted. They'll also have the results for the fun Friday night doubles event. They have a fun eliminator to start that off. I'm looking forward to live streaming that one. That's going to keep me on my toes. And then 6 games of Baker doubles where all the bowlers will stay on their same pair as doubles teams and try to take down some additional scholarship money. And as you see on the masking units, a ton of sponsors of this event. I mean, let's give you the rundown right now. We got a second. Let's take you over. Next door you see here, you got rev rates with the Bohn training facility inside of rev rates right here at Howell Lanes. PBA, PBA Junior, and PBA 50. Sponsors of this event, Tom Russo Photography, Brunswick, Manchester Accounting, Bowl for Life, Buddy's Pro Shop, more Brunswick sponsorship, Bones Elite Training. See there with Bones Elite Training. Rita's Italian, Storm Youth Challenge, sponsor of this event. I Am Bowling. So lots of support from the bowling community for this event. And as we just ran you through all the pairs here, you can see that we'll have every pair of play and coverage for the entire run of this 23rd PB3 scholarship event. One thing that these players might be seeing here, if they don't normally bowl on some tougher conditions or some, even if they do, the volume in this pattern, making sure it holds up for all 5 games of qualifying, as it's a 42-foot pattern designed for this event. 28.26 milliliters oil on the pattern. 14 of it on the forward, 13 on the reverse. So the reverse is going to set up the pattern to not get beat up so quickly. A lot of these young players, especially once you get in the under 18 division with the higher rev rates and such. And I'd say the squad balance right now, though, probably about 40% for the young ladies, 60% for the gentlemen. So these young ladies shouldn't see too much oil dissipation in their 5 games. They shouldn't have to make extreme moves keeping up if there are any gentlemen on their pair or in pairs that they hit during the cross. So the ratio of the pattern, counting from the 2nd to 7th board on the outside into the middle 4 boards, you're looking at about a 3.65 to 1 ratio. And from the track area to the middle, it's about 1.5 to 1. So the bump in this pattern, a pretty substantial bump around 7, 8, 9 boards. Once you get inside a 13th board, it's it's dead flat from 13 to 13 across the lane. So 42 feet, you probably could still find some players jumping outside, and depending on the rev rate, you could see some urethane in play like we're seeing here for Bennett, but problem is you get it a little quick with that urethane and get the energy dissipation to go with it, and it's not going to make it back to the pocket. So how about the lucky bounce? Let's take it down. Bowling is not 100% skill, ladies and gentlemen. We've never claimed it to be. You got to get a little lucky bounce here and there, and Bennett gets that bounce. He's kept the score sheet clean since the first couple open frames. And these young players know 5 games in the block. If they get in a little trouble early, they have plenty of time to make things up and try to make their way into that Sunday match play competition. Again, as we mentioned, all pairs in play. Right now they're bowling from lanes 7 and 8 all the way through lanes 23 and 24 currently. As we take a peek in on the sixum over there, but you'll see most of our players, if they don't come into our Strike Central coverage, you'll get a peek at them on one of the other pairs on the PB3 Scholarship Tournament YouTube. All 5 pair feeds and this feed for Strike Central coming to you not just today, but all weekend long. 3 on a pair. Squad's going fast. And we'll have some player movement. Some new faces coming in our Strike Central pair, but like I said, double tab us. Keep the Strike Central pair on, whether you're watching on the Justin Bohn YouTube page or the Parker Bohn the Third Scholarship Tournament YouTube page. Keep a tab open for that, and then follow your favorite player on a second tab as they go from pair to pair here at Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. As we are wrapping up game 1 of this opening day of 3 days of qualifying for the Parker Bohn the Third Scholarship Tournament. Game 2 coming to you next. Still some players finishing up game 1 of this 5 games block. Opening qualifying round of the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament, 23rd edition. I'm $2 Phil Bridle bringing you through the whole weekend here from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. And we'll get you back to our spotlight pair once we get some bowlers on it, lanes 7 and 8. Coming up shortly. And let's get back to our spotlight pair here on 7 and 8. We see Anthony Morrell leading things off in his bowler C. Morrell started at 185 his opening game. Brendan Bohn Palmer, see stepping up in lane 8. Early Greek Church Palmer. Palmer started with 202 in the under 18 division. And rounding out this threesome, she'll be bowler B. Is Vivian Luna. Luna started with 182 her opening game. And Luna stuffs the 10, opening shot on lane 8. Once again, this pattern 42 foot in length, designed just for this event. 28.26 milliliters oil. Across this lane surface at a maximum ratio of about 3.65 to 1 on both sides of the lane. Spares will be a key all weekend, as a couple of people have mentioned in the chat. And every squad of this event will be bowling on a fresh application of the condition. Two more qualifying squads tomorrow. Those squads taking place at 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. here at Howell Lanes. And then the always fun, a little bit looser atmosphere Baker doubles format with it. A little fun eliminator Parker likes to run before that. That'll start at 5 tomorrow. 3 qualifying squads on Saturday, 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 4 p.m. for those squads, and that'll get us once again to our bracket finals on Sunday. We know for the under 18 and boys and girls side, that'll be a 16-player bracket, double elimination, 2-game matches. You don't want to lose early in that one. It can be a really long road back to the finals. And we'll get the final numbers once final entry counts have been made on the under 15 boys and girls divisions for where their brackets may end up. There may be some buys involved in those brackets, as I don't think either one of those divisions will get the 16. But tell you what, sold out squads on Saturday for sure. I know there's one sold out squad tomorrow. Lots of action here from Howell Lanes all weekend long. Give you some top game one scores for the players in the field. Under 15 boys division, leading that off is Jason Bennett. You saw him in our opening pair. Bennett started at 170 in that division. That leaves him second. Odin Peters started off with 211 for your early lead in the under 15 boys. Under 18 boys, 213 from Joseph Dominguez and a 202 from Brandon Bohn Palmer, who you see stepping up now on lane 8. Are only 2 games to the plus in the under 18 boys. And in the under 18 girls, no one made it plus. High score, Caitlin Milzarski, 197. So this pattern definitely playing tough, but if you're going to win a title with the PB3 moniker on it, you know it's not going to be easy. Parker so many times with titles on the PBA Tour, PBA 50 Tour, and now reigning PBA 50 Player of the Year for Parker Bohn III. And that's not going to count for Bohn Palmer, as once a ball finds its way into a gutter, it is considered dead. And any pins hit after a dead ball do not count, according to USBC rules. So we'll get that score changed for Bohn Palmer momentarily. Being Luna, quality high school season last year, including making the New Jersey high school state tournament. She led her sectional to get the state through a 670 series. Had every game 220 or better to lead her sectional. So a young lady still got another year in high school to do some damage. Comes light. Bowls for Howell High School. Nice kids you see today do a lot of their bowling for either youth leagues here at Howell Lanes or for high school at Howell Lanes. Well, last season, bowling for Howell High School. Had a high game at 268 during the season. And a high set of 660 shot the opening week. And Bohn Powell not happy with that one. Saw his picture up on the wall of fame from a 300 game he shot here earlier this season. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Howell Lanes or haven't ever had a chance to stop in here before, you notice the wall that's running down where Lane 6 used to be here. And that is because a couple of years back they started, as you see the sign, the Rev Rates VIP Entertainment section of the center. So there's 5 lanes remaining just on the other side of this wall. And actually on Sunday during the championship finals, the last couple of matches in each division will take place over in Rev Rates and Bohn's Elite Training Center. So we might be able to get you some pretty unique stats, because I know they have all kinds of fun little toys to play with over at Rev Rates and Bohn's Elite Training. I saw someone working on their game earlier today using the Kegel torch. They can work on specific spares. It's a pretty neat facility. We're going to be glad to be bringing you some finals on Sunday from Rev Rates and Bohn's Elite Training. So there's still 26 lanes in play here. Get a lucky break again. How about that? That sideboard on lane 7 must have some gum rubber in it or something. That's the second washout we've seen in 2 games converted, with the head pin or another pin coming back off the left side and taking out the 10-pin last. quality super washout cover for Luna. She hasn't gotten an X on the board yet, but keeping frames clean. If she punches out from here, she's got herself a 215 game if she can find something. Yeah, spares are going to be key all weekend long. I don't expect to see a lot of 250 and 260 games out here. It's my first time here to Howell lanes, so I'm not familiar how these lanes are from pair to pair in the center. I'm sure it's not like cold water and play more lanes. There's a lot of difference from pair to pair. That adds charm, though. I love me some play more lanes. I'm sure Rick and Linus Hardings are in the middle of the lunch rush at Playmore and Coldwater. They're probably not watching right now, but maybe I got to make a list, and that's another missed 7-pin by Bohn we're going to need to get a score correction on. You need to make a list of like 25 centers you need to visit before you die. I know Coldwater would definitely be on there. Holler House, that's a given. My buddies at Castle Lanes in Racine, Wisconsin, that's a given. Kegel Training Center, that's one I haven't gone to yet. I got to go there. I just want to see them change the topography on the lanes like they can do. Change all the lane tilts and stuff. That could be fun because you could oil every pair of lanes the same there and have 12 or 16 different ball reactions depending on how they had topography set. Bohn, he's got the urethane up. That's the problem deep with the urethane. It's just there's too much volume for it to respond even with a higher rev rate. If you're going to do that, you got to be outside and direct. And that might be a game that a lot of these young players might not be comfortable with. Especially the two-handed men. Because it's not that often where you need to take the lane and the pattern out of play and go direct. But this could be one of the cases, especially with not a lot of young players venturing outside of 5. You could find something that no one else has. So we're going to let these players finish up their second of 5 qualifying games, player movement, and new faces coming into our spotlight pair in Strike Central. This is the opening squad of the PB3 Scholarship Tournament, 23rd edition from Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. I'm $2 Phil, bringing you through the whole weekend till we crown our 4 champions Sunday afternoon. All right, game 3 is kind of underway here. We'll get back to the spotlight pair on 7 and 8 once we get some action going over there. But joining us in the booth, the man who's done this with the help of a lot of others for 23 years now, Parker Bohn III, your reigning PBA 50 Player of the Year. Parker, hell of an event. I mean, this is phenomenal to see, and I don't know of a youth event that has 3 days of qualifying that has the first squad more than half full, and a bunch of sold-out squads on Saturday, and I'm sure there's kids still looking to sign up for Friday too. What brought the inaugural one about 22 years ago?
Well, the inaugural one, believe it or not, was not here at the center that I grew up in. It was at a center over in the Trenton area. And someone asked me about putting my name on the tournament. They wanted to run a scholarship event. And I said, okay, I've competed there before. Let's give it a go. Let's try for it. So he ran it for a couple of years. And then come about year 3, after they had it, that's when I decided, okay, we need to get more involved and more in touch. So we had the event at this other facility there for a couple of years, and then we decided, well, lo and behold, everything for me starts and finishes right here at Howell Lane. So we need to bring the event to where I grew up.
So what was the first year you bowled leagues here at Howell Lane? So I got to ask.
My first year that I bowled leagues, I was 10 years old. So that would have been in 1973.
Wow.
Averaged 93.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a first year at that age, especially back in the days of, you probably had a 3-dot or a Black Beauty.
It was a 3-dot.
3-dot, okay.
Yeah. The AMF 3-dot for sure. And then, you know, you get little upgrades through the years. You get an occasional plastic ball. I don't believe I ever had a yellow dot. I may have tried 1 or 2 going down the lanes, but by all means, I was the kid that wanted the big hook and ball, so I had the Johnny Petraglia LT48 and watch that go down the lane. And then it was a number of years after that I got to actually meet Johnny Petraglia, and well, we've been very good friends ever since.
Yeah, I saw Johnny yesterday. Unfortunately, he would have loved to have been here this weekend, but he has to attend a funeral for a friend in Cleveland, in the Cleveland area this weekend. So, but it was nice. It was nice. Just walking through the concourse, all of a sudden there's Johnny. And he showed me and I'm going to get a picture of earlier this weekend. He showed me that great mural they're doing of you and Matt Russo and Johnny and John Fury in the bar area here. That's a really sharp-looking mural. I'm going to make sure we get a picture of that and show everybody a little later in the weekend.
It really is pretty cool. Some of the things that they try to do, you know, representing or emulating those of us that bowl in the center, that grew up here. I mean, there's no doubt that it all started for me here, but right behind me is John Fury. Right behind him is Matt Russo. And I'll say along the way came Johnny. And when I say along the way, he didn't grow up here. He didn't start here, but he's been a forefront. He's been the guy to go to around here for the last 20 years.
So the pattern developed for this tournament, 42 feet. Was it something that you had some input on? Was it more of the meeting of the minds? Because we had a couple of people that described the pattern, and they go, well, it seems to be playing tough for the kids. Well, for an event like this, these kids know they're going to get into something a little tough.
Yeah, you know, I like something that's medium to a little bit higher in the scoring pace. Mm-hmm. You know, we run one event a year, and I don't want to see anybody demoralized. I don't want to see them walk away disgruntled. But at the same time, I don't want Sincerely Free Willy, where they can go out there and just throw it aimlessly anywhere they want, and they all walk into the pocket. I believe before the end of the weekend is done, you watch these kids, you watch them perform and watch them take place, you're going to see some kids that are really going to figure this pattern out and have an opportunity to go out there and do some striking. But at the same time, we're going to see a couple of them that are going to occasionally, unfortunately, not see the lane.
Yeah, and one thing we're finding out definitely early on is don't miss those corner pins.
I know.
There's been a few of those so far today where you hate to see some young player, you know, they're going to get to the end of the weekend and they're going to, you know, they finally realize, you know what, it wasn't, did I carry one more strike? What 7 or 10 pin did I miss that cost me?
We can't tell them enough about the importance of shooting spares, and a lot of that, you know, Phil, you're right here next to this wall that we put up here at Howell Lanes, and on the other side of it we have our 5 lanes that we call rev rates. And when you go in there, as much as it's an entertainment complex, you know, albeit the same, it's very small, it's only 5 lanes with a good sized party room in the back. in a matter of 60 seconds, we take it at any given moment from party to full-fledged training center.
I saw that yesterday. There was a clinic that was going on for two-handed players, it looked like yesterday.
Yep, but done by Matt Russo. He was out there hosting a couple of players, two-handed clinic, and, well, I'll say around our local area. Not that I don't mind chipping in and helping anybody, but how much better can you get it than get Matt Russo giving you a hand?
Yeah, no kidding. It's a guy that you wonder if he's going to end up moving to Jonesboro. Like, no. Did you have a center like that on tour where you knew when you walked in and you threw a couple of shots after not being there for a year, you had the confidence going, hey, I can do this again?
I had two centers like that out on tour that ultimately confidence was very high. The first one would have been Showboat in Las Vegas. I had a great amount of success there, won a couple of titles there, won and made shows, I'll say quite a few years, and then unfortunately closed up and they imploded it. So now I guess nobody misses there now. The second place would have been Tokyo Port Bowl over in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Had a tremendous amount of success there too, and unfortunately we don't bowl there any longer.
Right.
So, but
yeah, 2018 was the last year that the PBA was there. And I believe you were there for that event as well when Don Barrett took it home.
Yes, yeah. It's really what they did for all of us then, and I know in my mind that there are facilities that still do that for the players today. And what they do when you go to centers like that, wow, you really feel like you're at home.
Yeah. Well, and you can see that with these young players. You know, some of them may not see each other on the lanes that often, during the summer. Maybe they, especially at junior gold, it's hard to find somebody you know. You think 4,000 people, it can't be hard to find somebody you know there.
Okay.
Well, but yeah, you're in 6 different centers and everywhere else. Yeah, it could be a little bit hard to do, especially with the logistics this year with a couple hours distance between all the centers. And yeah, this has got a feeling at home for a lot of these young players. You can tell just from the talking and the concourse that was going on and catching up on things. So it's a nice little kickoff to the new season here with the PB3.
Yeah, it really is. We've pretty much found a home here during the Labor Day weekend. We don't like to take up everybody's weekend, even though our event is 4 days long. We started early on Thursday, and a lot of the bowlers that are out here now are local. Although we do have, I know there's at least one competitor here right now from Brooklyn, so that's still about 2 hours away. But they come out and they support the event by all means and enjoy what we have here, but also the fact that we're 30 minutes to the Jersey Shore. This little place called Six Flags Great Adventures, 20 minutes up the road, and what better time to be down at the Jersey Shore than bluntly this right now.
Oh yeah, today's a great day to throw a lot of strikes because get out of here and enjoy the weather outside. It's beautiful.
You can go out to the boardwalk tonight. You can go really enjoy yourself, walk around, have yourself a dinner. If you really want to go down there and put your feet in the sand or even touch upon the water, by all means, go out and make a part of it. But this really turns out to be a wonderful weekend.
And there we see Bennett with a little bit of a struggle trying to get that ball to react.
Yeah, a little bit wide there, but he was on 3 in a row, so obviously he's got some sort of vision of what he needs to do. Must have missed his target, where typically on a house shot, that probably gets back and at least gets a piece of the one in the front. And unfortunately here, misses the head pin, and well, hopefully he's going to get the ball on the other side of the head pin and knock down those 3 pins and make the spare.
Yeah, looking at this pattern, a young player like Bassett here, he could have some success during the weekend because he might be able to get back to some areas of the lane if he gets a little more confidence. The way his pattern looked at, players that could go straighter, even though it's 42 feet in length, you see it on tour on occasion too. They can get to those outside 4 or 5 boards and play straight through that part of the lane and still get some reaction on the back. And if you're there and nobody else is, that could be kind of gold for you.
Well, exactly, for sure. Especially if you can figure it out. If you look at our tournament and the format behind it, we know that they get strip and re-oil after each squad. The kids are going to bowl a 5-game qualifier, and they can re-enter as many times as they want. The last squad that we have on Saturday is a re-entry squad only.
Okay.
So if they haven't entered one of the first 5, they cannot just come in and walk in for the last squad. But they're going to go out there and they're going to post their best 5-game set. Now, once they post their best 5-game set, hopefully they have enough to advance for the finals. And if they do, all the pins are dropped, then it's the best in a 2-game match and take it from there. Winners advance. The losers are going to go to losers bracket. You lose twice, you're out of the tournament.
Yeah, it's you don't want to lose that first round match, because then that's the real long road back.
Yeah, it's a little work there. We know what that's like just by looking at the Masters.
And now Bassett just, you see, all of a sudden the comfort level after the three-bagger's gone away.
Yeah, he's got a little bit perplexed. You know, you can see that look on his eyes like he can't believe it. He just threw 3 in a row, and now he's missed a head pin, not just one way, but now he's missed it completely the other way. So, you know, for a young man like him, I'd say take a step back, take a deep breath, and just realize, okay, I'm trying to overwork this. Let me just get out there and make a good pass.
So just the one squad today, 2 tomorrow. I'm sure there's still room on both of those, but I'm sure the Saturday squads, if they're not full early on those first 2, they got to be really close. If there's somebody watching from home thinking that they might want to make the run down here to Howell Lanes.
If they Saturday is almost full, and I'd say this, that there are some people, if there's not a waiting list, there's going to formulate one very, very fast. So if you're not entered for Saturday, if that's the only day that can fit your schedule, by all means, you better get in touch with us very, very soon to make that possible.
So obviously, you're not the only one getting everything together, scores, all the other stuff. You've assembled yourself a heck of a crew of helpers for this event. And, I mean, it starts with the family. Obviously, I saw Justin frantically keying away on the keyboard back there, and your wife Leslie getting some details together as well.
I like the way you give me the compliment that I've formulated a hell of a crew. Let me tell you something. Leslie and Justin have formulated the hell of a crew. I'm just along for the ride.
You're just the good looks and the star power?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe they asked me to come on board for the namesake. But the one thing, Phil, I will say, and for all the viewership back at home, you know, we are contesting the vast majority of this tournament out here in Howell Lanes, lanes 7 through 32, even though we're not using the extreme high end for this squad. But as things formulate and get underway on Sunday, when we get down to the final 2 competitors in each division, we are going to bring them over to the rev rate side of the facility. So if you can tune in on Sunday, you'll not only see what we have here during the week, but you're going to see the other side and see everything that it has to offer as well. And you're going to see that that's really a downright home atmosphere setting that we've tried to formulate there.
Yeah, I've already downloaded the Kegel app onto my laptop because I'm going to try to get some wizardry going during the finals on Sunday and bring in the ball track. You know, do my version of Fox Strike Tracks. So,
well, Phil, whatever you bring to the table, I can't thank you enough from my heart and from all the competitors, our staff, not only with the PB3 tournament, but also the staff here at Howell Lanes. We appreciate you coming in and being a big part of our tournament this year. And, well, it's great to see you in person, not just the fact that you've let us use your equipment over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get here. I'm glad I got here for this. I mean, there are some spotlight youth events around the country. I mean, obviously there's some great tours as well. Storm Youth Championships are part of part of the sponsorship package here as well. And you've got Elite Youth Tour in the Chicago area, and obviously Junior Bowlers Tour, East, South, West, they're all over the place. But you know, for the standalone big events, this is one of the big 5 that I'm glad I got to it. You know, one I used to love going to, and it was the first time we met, was back in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Yes.
With the Sean Yonan, where you handed A.J. Johnson his first ever televised victory trophy. So,
boy, has he come a long way.
Yeah, he has. I live streamed a regional Memorial Day weekend from Lockport, Illinois, and A.J. took down another regional. It's number 9 for him. He's one of those guys that you're waiting for the breakthrough on the regular tour. He's come so close. He gets there, and just a bad break or two or an errant shot, and it goes. But, yeah, I can't see that offer on the win column for A.J. on tour last another year or 2 tops.
It's funny when you mention that. You know, not funny for A.J.'s point of view, by all means, but a lot of players go through it. And unfortunately, some of them never break through the ice. Mm-hmm. They never get to that champion or winner circle on that stage. Yeah. I do believe A.J. will get there because he's going to make, well, he's already made plenty of shows, but he's going to continue to make more shows. And as he does, sometimes, somewhere, eventually, things are going to unfold his way, whether it's an unfortunate circumstance or shot for his opponent, or it's a very fortunate shot for A.J. You're going to look at it, he's going to go, I finally got it. Yep. And once he breaks through that ice, My goodness, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring after that.
Yeah, he brought home gold from that PABCON event in Brazil last week with Chris Prather, and he finished in doubles, and he got a bronze in singles and all events. So, yeah, AJ knows how to win. It just hasn't happened on the PBA Tour yet.
Yeah, it'll happen. Give it time.
Yeah. Hey, we're finishing up at Game 3. I appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. I know we'll get you in there one or two more times this weekend. So
I'll be floating around. The shoes will be busy, but we'll be going back and forth.
Yes, indeed. So we've got scores after Game 3. We'll give you an update. Game 4 coming up next. Thanks, Parker.
Thank you, Phil.
just waiting on some action to finish up. Actually, they're all finished up, just waiting for player movement. Of course, they got to come down from the high end down here to 7 and 8. As we're waiting to start game 4 of this 5-game qualifying block, the opening qualifying block for the 23rd annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. I'm $2 Phil, bringing you the action all the way through this event. This is the lone qualifying squad today. We're going to have 2 qualifying squads for you tomorrow. Those qualifying squads are at 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. here from Howell Lanes. And then tomorrow night, the funnest event of the entire weekend. And that's going to be the PB3 Eliminator, followed by the Baker Doubles, 6 games of Baker Doubles for the players that pair up on a little easier condition than the tournament condition. Get to have a little fun with it. And we'll have some fun, I'm sure, while we're live streaming it. And then qualifying Saturday, 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. are the 2 regular squads. The final squad at 4 p.m. is a re-entry squad for players that have already tried to qualify once but failed to make a score in the top 16. And then Sunday's match play bracket finals, that'll start at 9 a.m. here at Howell Lanes, as we're going to be determining 4 champions in under 15 boys, under 15 girls, under 18 boys, and under 18 girls. And as Parker Bohn mentioned when he was in with us last game, the final 2 players in each of those divisions, their finals are going to take place on the other side of that wall you see on the left side. And we'll be in Rev Rates / Bohn's Elite Training Center. For those championship matches. And once again, it is a double elimination bracket, so the bowler that'll enter that finals undefeated would have to be beaten twice by the other player in order to lose out on taking home the title. Maribeth Baker, Joseph Dominguez, Ika Voorhees, your threesome. Baker, your bowler A. Dominguez, your bowler B. Voorhees, your bowler C, as a quality conversion there to start. Dominguez just to the plus side after 3 games. 213, 177, 216 to this point for Dominguez. Dominguez, your early front runner after 3 games for qualifying in the under 18 boys division. Baker at -47. For her first 3, starting 190, 173, 190. So sitting towards the front of the leaderboard in the 18 under girls, as she finds herself 3 pins behind Sydney Bohn and 2 pins behind Alexandra Sands for the top spots after 3 games. Voorhees sitting at -12. 178 to start, follows up with 201, 209. And Voorhees with an early double here in game 3. One of the sponsors for this event, Rita's Ice. I want to thank them for dropping off a tasty chocolate gelato with a black cherry Italian ice mix. Oh my, is it good. You may hear my microphone go silent on occasion in this game. That's because you don't want to hear me slurping down this particular tasty treat. So Rita's Ice, thank you very much for the treat in the booth. It's appreciated. Hopefully there's one or two more of those trapped off this weekend. So let's give you a rundown right now of top three in each division. We'll give you top two in boys 15 and under because there's only 5 bowling. So your top two right now are Ryan Lang. You saw him start things off this morning here in our spotlight pair. He's at minus 44 for his first 3. And Joshua Lamaro is sitting in second at minus 97. On the 18 under boys side, we mentioned Dominguez leading at plus 6. Bradley Allen in second, minus 1. Nicholas Bertoni at minus 9. And then Voorhees, you're going to see stepping up here. Voorhees sitting in fourth in the squad, minus 12. And on your 18 under girls side of things, your top 3 are Cindy Bohn at minus 44. Alexander Sardis minus 46, and then just 1 pin behind that is Mary Beth Baker, who you see stepping up, trying to convert to 6-7. As Baker's at minus 47. Once again, your full tournament results will be available on the tournament website. Go to Parker Bohn and then the number 3.com. How about that for a spare by Baker? She's just showing off because the cameras are here, that's all. So. Well, if she keeps making spares like that, we'll definitely see her back on Sunday for those bracket finals. So once again, tournament results, go to Parker Bohn, the number 3.com. And then right when you land on the webpage, you'll see in big bold letters, 23rd Parker Bohn, the 3rd scholarship tournament results. That's where you can get your squad by squad results. No love on the 10 pin for Dominguez. Head pin decides it just wants to quit before it gets there. And a big break there for Baker. Leaves just the 7. And like we talked a little bit with this pattern, the volume of this pattern and the few number of games are actually bowling on it, only 5 games. Even with the mix of boys and girls crossing, it shouldn't affect these young ladies how they play the lanes too awful bad. They shouldn't have a big track they'd have to try to jump either through or left with during qualifying. And then once we get the match play on Sunday, they'll all be on their own pairs, so they'll just have to deal with their own groups carry down. So players throwing it straight right now, like Mary Beth Baker is, I think she could be pretty successful these last couple of games. And we can start projecting some cuts tomorrow afternoon as we see more players on the squad. But it wouldn't surprise me, and both the under 15 boys and, well, They don't have any 15 and under girls to go off of right now. None on the squad. 18 under girls. You know, it could be where a 190 average gets you solid in the cut for Sunday. Finish at minus 50 for 5 games using the PBA par system. That's a 190 average. And that could definitely be a see you Sunday type of thing. So we'll have to see what Baker can do here. For the guys, it's going to take a little over 200. So even a player off to a good start so far like Voorhees, who's now running into some trouble here. 2 opens his last 3 frames. Voorhees is minus 12 coming in. He may need to find something in game 5 and finish off strong here in game 4 to see competition on Sunday. Of course, all these young players do have an opportunity to re-enter on that 4 p.m. squad on Saturday, as it is only available for re-entries. Dominguez had a start, spare double, and now wheels aren't off, but they're wobbling. Yeah, so he can max out 223. Yeah, Baker ball change and let that one roll a little bit. And that was a no-doubter. Lots of these young players out this weekend. It's that time of year again. Everybody's just done with Junior Gold in Grand Rapids. Time to start thinking about 2023. And this event, bowlers can pay that extra entry fee for Junior Gold and try to qualify their way into next year's event. Of course, next year back to Indianapolis for Junior Gold. 8 divisions of champions will be crowned. Couple chances for repeats in the Bohn family, as Justin Bohn would be eligible and Brandon Bohn would be eligible in the under 20 boys and under 18 boys respectively. Brandon's last year as an under 18 bowler coming up this season. I'm sure there'll be quite a few 17 and 16-year-old boys breathing a sigh of relief that they might have a chance next year, or in 2024, I should say. That's a grueling format to get your way through and to be able to win that event not just once but twice like Brandon has is pretty amazing. And I think he'll be back here a little later this weekend. I know you're starting school in Iowa. Get a chance to talk to Brandon Bohn a little bit about how the move-in went for him. And Dominguez, yeah, world of hurt at the moment. 189 now, the max. Just got to keep grinding. Even if you get out of here at 160 with a couple of spares, you're still giving yourself a chance in Game 5. Otherwise, hey, get mom and dad to shell out another $70 and come back for the reentry squad on Saturday night. I'm sure that will be full. Once we know the final entry count, we'll be able to give everyone that prize list on what these young players are bowling for. 1 in 4 players will earn scholarship money. It'll be interesting to see how Baker decides to shoot at this 2, 5, and 7. As Voorhees just gets the 10 to tickle down. I would say a smart way to do it would be hit the ball into both the 2 and the 5 and have the 2-pin carry over into the 7. Otherwise, you're kind of playing with the chop. She's going to avoid the chop, but only gets the 7. Still leaves herself with a chance for 187 and still in decent shape with a solid Game 5 to make it to Sunday for Baker. So Baker with the first one, the 10th. Another open, youch, for Dominguez. And Voorhees trying for the big finish. So we're going to let you enjoy the end of Game 4 with the great sights and quality sounds inside of Howell Lanes here in Howell, New Jersey. And our 5th and final game of this opening qualifying squad for the Park and Bohn 3 Scholarship Tournament coming up next. I want to make an addendum before we saw Vivian Luna in our pair game 2. And I had it in my notes, totally forgot to mention that she was the winner of the East region for the recent PBA Junior National Finals qualifiers a couple weekends back at AMF Strathmore Lanes in Aberdeen, New Jersey. Luna took down Mila Mickovic in the last match, 233 to 193. And on the boys' side of that East region for the PBA Junior National Qualifier, Daniel Robertson out of Jackson, New Jersey, took down Andrew Blaney, 222-211. We should see Robertson later this weekend. I don't know if we'll catch him today on our squad. Yeah, he's not on this squad, but I'm sure we'll catch him this weekend. Not with many other youth players. Just waiting on one more player to get this started here for our final qualifying squad of the day, the only qualifying squad of the day. And now, game 5 underway. As there you see Kaylee Germandig starting things off. She's going to be your bowler C on this threesome. Germandig sitting at minus 101 for her first 4 games, but she's bringing it back. Started with a 142, came back at 174, 171, and then 212 in game 4. There you see Madison Lewis stepping up. Lewis at minus 194, been a struggle for her most of the day. And then bowler A, you see coming up on lane 8. That's the bowler that's in the top 3 on the squad currently. She's in second at minus 50 with Alexandra Sardis. Sardis 169, 184, 201, and 196. Sits her at minus 50, and third on the squad. As Sydney Bohn has now gone into the plus with a 264 game in game 4 for Bohn. So Sydney Bohn at plus 20 in the 18 and under girls. And Vivian Luna, who we saw a little earlier, is in second at 6 under. Big 247 game for Luna in game 4. And then Sardis sitting in third on the squad at minus 50. Nothing lost there for Lewis at the moment, working on a strike. Sardis trying to bounce back off the open frame. And lane 7 seems to be playing a little tighter than lane 8, watching the players that progress their way through. Most of the errant shots we've seen on lane 7 for the player's first or second shot seems to be a little on the light side. And that one doesn't get across the lane for Sardis, so now that minus 50 total, it might be a little tough to hold it by the end of this game. So this is the lone squad of the day, finishing up. We'll be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow for our first of 2 squads. The other squad being at 12:30 p.m. Then that special event with the Eliminator and Baker doubles. That'll start at 5 p.m. here at Howell Lanes. All times given this weekend, or Eastern time, of course. So our under 15 boys, a bit of a struggle for the young men right now, as we only have one player, Ryan Lang, that's averaging 180 or better at the moment. Lang's averaging 184.5 for minus 62 total. And on the 18 and under boys side of the equation, there's only one player to the plus, and that's Bradley Allen. Allen, we haven't seen our feature pair coverage. Allen, though, averaging 202 on the day. He's done it in an up and down fashion. 182, 173, 244, and 211 to get to that plus 10 total. There were some players right on his heels. Mika Voorhees, who we saw last game, our spotlight pairs at minus 24. Joseph Dominguez dropped into the negative. He's at minus 38. You saw him struggle with a 156 last game on their spotlight pair. And Johnny Bassett, Jonathan Applewhite, both at minus 42. Nicholas Platoni at minus 39. So there's several players. And we mentioned it might be close to a 200 average for the boys to make the top 16 on Sunday. And it's kind of looking that way, especially right now with only one player to the plus on this squad for the 18 and under boys, and only one player on the girls side to the plus as well. So Germany trying to make a late charge. I mentioned it's been a rough day for her. Starting at 142 didn't help, but she did have 212 last game. And if she can put a couple more strikes together here, it's a very direct line. Gets it to go, and as I mentioned earlier, this is one of those conditions where it's not about the number of boards you can cover, it's about playing the boards the right way. And Germandig seems to be doing that. Currently 4 strikes in her first 6 shots. We haven't seen that out of many players today as they've moved their way to 7 and 8. Yeah, just because Elaine's got 39 boards doesn't mean you have to use all of them on one shot. And I think by the time this weekend's done, many of these young players will realize that. Is that ball right idea, wrong roll for Madison Lewis, as that one just kind of rolled out on her, left the 5-pin. Does this still count? Even though it's a youth tournament, does that still count? Nobody with a hand in the air for 5-pin. If they miss it, they got to buy. Does that still count a youth tournament? We got Dick Allen with that in our regional in Coldwater a couple weeks back. Pros miss 5-pins on occasion. Dick Allen did it. Dick Allen also said immediately, I own it, and everybody had our hands up. Dick bought a beer when the round was done. So Dick Allen, a man of his word. Dick Allen says something, you know he means it. Great toss there by Lewis. Got that roll. You can see the difference in the ball roll. Just a little bit stronger at the pocket instead of leaving that light swisher 5. 5 didn't stand a chance on that shot. Smart play there for German. They take 2. You can still get out of here with 2:20. And minus, if she can strike out, get the minus 80 overall. It might not be enough to see Sunday, but it's got to give her some confidence if she decides to re-enter during the rest of the weekend. Sardis, you don't want to say needs them all to have to worry about re-entering, but that may be the case. Minus 50 coming in. Most you can max out for now is 176. There'll be another 24 on top of that. So minus 74. Ooh, that could be a little iffy by the end of the weekend. I'm thinking a 190 average for the young ladies. Taken. That's going to be a little behind that. Needs to get up a little bit more. Oh, she swishes the 5 down. So once again, Parker Bohn and then the number 3.com is your landing page for all things related to this 23rd annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Get your first squad results there as soon as they're posted. Get your results all weekend there as we go squad to squad. And we'll have 5 more qualifying squads for you coming on Friday and Saturday. Also tomorrow night we'll have the always fun PB3 Eliminator and Baker doubles to stream. So we'll let you enjoy the last frame of this qualifying squad with the ambient sounds and gorgeous sights of Howell Lanes. Join myself, Parker Bohn III, and whoever else we drag in the booth tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, your start time, for our second qualifying squad of the 23rd annual PB3 Scholarship Tournament. I'm $2 Phil Brilo. Always remember, parents, take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life, and we'll see you back here at Howell Lanes 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.